Hello everybody, this is a short video. Well, maybe it'll be short, we'll see. It's just a very small batch experiment I'm doing of some swirls, and you're going to see in the end that I'm going to cut this differently. I'm going to cut this in half and then through the middle to see, what my swirls look like if I cut the loaf different. So I have pre-mixed my colors, and this is a different recipe than I usually use. I'm going to share it, and you're going to see I do a lot of things different to get a more liquid batter. If you've seen me make soap before, you may have noticed that the usual recipe I use is quite thick. So this is different. I actually call this my swirly recipe. And this is my first time using it, so I'm sharing my experiment with you. On the soap calc, I used soapcalc.net to make this recipe. It has a hardness of only 23. They recommend 29, so it's not going to be hard bar. Cleansing is low, but conditioning is very high, 74. Bubbly and creamy is quite low. So basically this is a soft but conditioning bar, and it should be very fluid and allow me to play with swirls. So you see I pre-mixed my colors. Usually I add them as powders because I don't worry too much about all the stick blending I do. But this time I'm going to hardly stick blend at all, and then everything's going to be done with a whisk. So here's my lye water ready to go. My oils are ready to go. So I'm going to turn on some music and just let you watch me work. You'll see when I get to this making the swirls, I'm going to use, I don't know if I'm using the correct term, but I would call it a faux funnel pour. I just keep pouring into the same location over and over again. And you'll see that the center of my pour moves on me, and I just follow it as I go. So when we cut this open for the grand reveal, we'll see what that did and how that worked. If this is a successful look, I'm going to take this up from this 1 pound batch to like a 5 pound batch and make this, repeat this in my 2 4 pound loaf molds. I don't know if that made any sense, but and the molds I'm using in this video, I bought at the Dollar Tree. They cost $1.25 for 2 of these. They're actually like drawer organizers, and then I lined them with freezer paper. So my mold cost on this is only 75 cents. I bought these so I could make smaller batches. So if I have a customer who wants a custom soap, I can make a smaller batch and they can let me know if that's, what they wanted. If they like the fragrance before I go and make a huge batch and then have all this soap that no one really likes. So I'll let you enjoy and turn on some music. Talk to you later. Bye. my loaf of my swirly soap. See how it has hardened up. It's been about 4 days. I'm going to cut this different than any other cutting I've done so far. So this is totally new to me. What I'm going to do is cut it in half. Now first let's look at how much the depth is. It's not quite 2 inches. So ideally, if I do this again, I'm going to have this be 2 inches. So it is 1 3/4. So let's cut it first in half. We're going to cut about here at 3.5. It's a bit over 7. So I'm going to cut right there. I just put a little mark. And I'm going to cut with a knife. Even pressure on both ends. And just straight down. Ooh, there we go. So there's the inside. Now if I were to cut like I always do, that's what you would see. It looks like a drop swirl. Now let's see what's going to happen if we cut this way. Should I do it like this? It seems most solid. All right. So much suspense. Oh, pretty circles. Okay. There we go. Could use some cleaning up. Could be made a bit prettier even so. So, even when it cures, it might still change a little bit. But I can see anyway. I don't know if you can see it on the computer. My green, my yellow, it looks like a purple, a red. Green, yellow, green, purple, yellow, green, red. So here you have that. And let's do it one more time. So next time I do this, I will do more soap. Do this in a larger mold. And my fragrance, for some reason, I have the Love Spell fragrance oil. When I ordered it, I didn't even know that it was a well-known fragrance. When I order fragrance oils, I always order a new one that I've never tried before. And so one time I ordered Love Spell because I read the description, and the description sounded so wonderful. And it is. I really like that fragrance. And then since I've had it, I have not used it yet, but I've heard that it's actually well known. It's a Victoria's Secret fragrance, I believe. Oh, this one's kind of different. It's stripy. Doesn't so much have the circles. I'm going to clean it up like I did the other one. It's pretty. Yeah, I feel like the Love Spell needs something special, so I want to do... I've ordered some silk, so I'm going to put some silk in the Love Spell one. And I also thought that it needed some swirls different than usual, not just my drop swirl. I love the drop swirl, but I just want something different. So this will work. What I'm going to do is the same recipe, less water. I used way too much water in this recipe. It took too long to set up. So less water, same recipe, less water. I'm going to do the water at 2.2 times the lye. What I had done this time was the soapcalc.net default, which is 38% of the oils, was my water, instead of my water being a ratio of lye. And I am going to do, I think, prettier colors. I don't know if these colors are pretty. Let me know what you think. They could be brighter, prettier. And silk, a touch of silk in with the lye. And thicker than, I'll do it even a bit thicker than 2 inches. and it will be in the larger mold. So that is it. Swirly Whirly soap. I'll lay them up here for you to see. Yeah, they don't stand up like that. They're too thin. So these ones, what I gave them was just a slight lavender essential oil fragrance. So they're just for me and Aaron to use. I want to give them something. So, partay. And I hope you enjoyed this experiment. Hi everybody. Before we end the video, I am just going to show you quickly the lathering and bubbling abilities of this soap. Now remember I mentioned it, and I'm going to share the recipe, that this came in very low on the scale in soap calc for cleansing and bubbling, and it came in very high for conditioning. And I have used it, and it is like using lotion, like my hands after using this. It's very nice. Like, I didn't want to stop washing my hands with this soap. So please excuse my sink. I hope it's clean enough. This is just to show you the bubbles. Now I have a little piece I've cut off, and I'm going to use that just so you can see how this soap has worked. So if you're not familiar with soap calc and you're a new soaper, I recommend spending just, like an afternoon in there reading and try different formulas, experiment. Now you don't have to make the soap. Just pick 5, maybe even 4 oils, 4 to 7 oils. Write them down, go for different quantities, and see what soap calc tells you about what that soap would be like. So that's how I did this. This is how I made my Whirly Swirly recipe. I was looking for softer oils, and it's very conditioning, very low on cleansing and bubbling. So what does that mean? I'll show you. Now, excuse me, I'm sorry, I have a Band-Aid on my thumb. So the first thing that happened to me yesterday, right before a craft show, was I cut my finger on the door of the ladies' washroom, on the door of the stall. So that was unfortunate, because then I went the whole day with a Band-Aid on my thumb, and here it is still on my thumb. So please forgive me. My hands are clean, and I haven't hurt myself making soap. I hurt myself using the washroom. So here I am. This is not fully cured either. So I don't know if you're getting a good view of this. But here's what the bubbles look like. Now, if I bought this soap, I would be very happy with this. This would be what I expect soap to do. They're lasting a long time. I believe I put some castor oil in this soap. That might be what's holding this bubble stable. You're getting you're not getting large bubbles. You're getting small bubbles in many of them. So this would be a creamy lather, I believe. So I just wanted to show you that, in case you're like me and you read these things and you're wondering, what does it mean when they say low is low on the bubbly scale? Am I going to get no bubbles? No, you're going to get lots of bubbles. So you can experiment yourself. I recommend you do what I've done and make small batches. Like, you can even make a 1-pound batch. Or, just this book I'm reading says to make just 1 bar and experiment. There you go. Just wanted to show you. So I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye. This is like jazz hands, but it's soap hands.